You see, it is said that in this life, you must learn to have sense. And some people are reasonable enough to wait till they are out of their parents' houses before discussing such topics. But I do not have that kind of luxury. So you can already imagine what this might cost me. Welcome back to 31Block and still with my folks. You're wondering where the energy went. Oh, the energy is still there, but some days we just need to stay calm, chill, mellow, and get to internalize some very important things. And, well, what can I say? Sometimes you are torn between loving your family from afar and staying put and enduring because you are bound by blood. So today, we're discussing a very sensitive topic, and it's called black tax. Hey, you guessed right. No, not right, actually. I know some of you are saying, oh, that's why she's all on black and in a very dark space. And oh, no, that's not why. The reason I'm here in this dark space and on black is that I don't really know, but let's go past that. Sometimes what black tax does is it keeps you torn between feeling entitled to your pocket and entitled to the love you get from the people who are closest to you. Now, I'll tell you what black tax is, because I know some people might be saying, what is black tax? Is it a black people tax? Is it a black man tax? Is it blackmail? Is it an African? Let me just break it down and say it as it is. Now, black tax. Black tax is that unspoken obligation you have to support, say, your family, parents, siblings, your friends, and even your extended families. Now, anyone you have considered to be your family, whether you're related by blood or not, but as long as you have this connection, this building, this bond, they are your family. Now, when you have a financial obligation that has been imposed on you either by them or yourself, that is black tax. Now, it's not something new. Mind you, it's not new. It's something that has always been there, like it's an African thing. Yes, so if you guessed that black tax is a black man tax, yes. It's an African thing where you feel obligated to do something, to do these things. And what happens at some point is that if you are a young person, I'll be honest with you, a lot of people who suffer this thing the most are young people between the ages of, say, 22, 23, up until about, say, even 40. And the thing about it is this. You feel this obligation. Why? Why do you feel so obligated to carry this tax? Government is not collecting this money from you, but you have a job, you get a job, and you're earning a salary. And at the end of the day, what you are paying for black tax is much more than what you're earning as a salary. And there are a number of people who suffer this and they cannot speak up because of that sense of obligation, that sense of responsibility, which you either put on yourself or just by default. We're Africans. Of course, we know those things that are just what we have to do, what we should do, what is our responsibility in family, in the society at large. So it's kind of weird and hard to actually talk about this thing without feeling guilty. Yeah, there is always guilt attached to taking care of yourself. So when someone tells you to be selfish, just a little bit, it's always like they are telling you to listen to the voice of the angel, of the devil, rather than listen to the voice of the angel on your shoulder. And you start to question yourself. You start to question people. You start to question what is right and wrong. You start to question if you are even worth taking care of, either by yourself or even by people around you. So what exactly is black tax and how does it affect us? Now, I feel tempted to throw in the aspect of mental health into this, and the main reason is this. Black tax is a tax that people pay to family and they feel guilty when they don't pay it. Why? Because you feel after everything they have done for me, that's one, you are saying it. What if they are the ones, your family, the people you feel entitled to, the people you feel obligated to, are the ones telling you these words? What is the reverse psychology in that? What is the reverse effect it has on you when it is someone else telling you something or you telling yourself the same thing? How does it affect you? Sometimes it keeps you torn between feeling entitled to their love and them feeling entitled to your pocket. Now, I'll give a very simple example, right? So, let's say there's a family. Now, if I'm describing you, I'm sorry, it's nothing personal. It's just something that is very, very generic, and you must understand that what is happening to you right now is happening to a whole lot of people out there. But again, like I said, people will never speak up. Why? It's just that thing. We are scared to let people down. We are scared to break that wall of expectations. But then we know that it is that wall of expectations that constantly keeps us and holds us down. And we cannot move. But do you know what it means to move? Like, say, career-wise, say, physically. Moving means you have to move. You need to take a step. You need to create distance, like move. I don't know if I'm making sense. I'll use this analogy. Let's say there is this young person between the age of, say, 22, 23 up until 35, and you got a job. You have, say, 3 siblings, and your parents are people who either are not working or they're working, but they don't earn enough to keep the family together. They don't earn enough to take care of the upkeep of the family. And then you graduate, you have a job, and it just so happened that you're still living with your folks. What do you think happens when you get that first salary? You're contributing to food. You're contributing to, say, light bill, electricity. You're contributing to a whole lot of things. Now, will there ever be a day when you say, I don't have, and this question will come up? After all the food you are eating in our house, the roof we put over your head, the bed you sleep on, the security you enjoy, do you think there will ever be a day when you hear that, either from an argument or just because you say, I don't have to give? Now, a lot of people suffer this a lot, and as I have said, people will not speak up. Why? We feel, now let's not say they feel, we feel like it is our responsibility, and since it is your responsibility to take care of your family, the day you stop doing that, you have failed. Why do we feel that way? Why do we constantly feel that way? Like, did I stop giving money? I have failed. Did I stop giving money? I am a disappointment. Did I stop giving money? They'll stop loving me. But before you got that job, were you all alive and together and happy? Okay, let's leave happiness aside. Let's leave happiness. Before I start getting to a point where they say money doesn't buy happiness, but well, give me the money, I'll take it. Before you got that job, they ate, right? They had electricity. They had, what else can I say? They could fend, like they would sleep and wake up, and you all together, including yourself, let's not say they, you had everything that would push you to the next day. So what makes you think that without that money, you all won't survive? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I'll be honest with you, it's going to be very hard. Yes, your family will hate you. Don't see, when it comes to African traditions, African practices, and the responsibility that is placed on one person, literally, they will tell you are the David of this family. Forget it, you will hear it, especially if it's a religious family. They will tell you are the David of this family, born to raise them out of poverty, born to rescue them. You will hear all of those things. But honestly, before you became the David, who were you? Were you all together? Were you united? Did you love each other? See, money can do a lot of things. Money can make you separate yourself from your conscience. And at some point, I'll tell you, what black tax does is it either creates monsters out of families or, well, it just creates people who will hate you but smile in front of you and literally still creating monsters. When money comes in any kind of relationship, it does things to people that just changes who they are. Now let's come back to black tax. Hi, welcome back. And I got thinking. You see, if you found yourself in a situation where black tax has now become your biggest struggle, I honestly sympathize with you. It's not going to get any easier. You know why? Because you are the savior. Even Jesus Christ died without the power we can get in die. You see, sometimes when you end up in that situation where you carry that kind of obligation and you're expected to do this, expected to do that, expected to be the hero, expected to deliver and save. One question. If you are dependent on a salary at the age of 26 or at the age of 29, climbing that block of 30 and coming onto the 31 block and stay with your folks, you're dependent on salary. Let's say at the end of the month, you're getting 200K, right? 200,000 naira. And black tax is eating up 190K at the end of the month, right? Remember that this black tax, what it will push you to do is borrow money because you are not paying it at the end of the month. You're paying it every single day. Now, you do not have the right or the grace to say no. Why? Just as we said at the beginning, you are related by blood. Now you find yourself in this situation and you have to give this. How do you build? Because literally you have become a hand-to-mouth person, literally. So the salary is coming and you're paying back into this. Do you know how business models work? Now explain a very simple context of how business models work, right? So there is income. Okay, let's say there is capital, there is income, there's expenditure, there's profit, and there is savings somewhere. I don't think a lot of us even know how to save anymore, but there is savings somewhere. Now, when you have capital, right, and you start working, now that capital sets the business. It sets the base, the tone where the business starts, correct? Yes. Now, if you are receiving salary, it means you have no business with capital, correct? Because it is the person who employed you that put in capital, and it is through the process where it is maturing that you then come in and you're getting something out of it. Now, income, it means you are in a system where a capital is maturing, which means you have no business with the general finances that is in the system of the business. So this is what happens in the business system, right? So the business is running and you are here. You're tapping. Let's say out of, you're tapping 25 times. Why do I say 25 times? In a month, we have about, say, 30 days approximately. Let's use 30. And out of 30 days, we have 4 weeks. And you don't go to work, let's say it's a work where you have to go till Saturday. So let's say we have 5 weeks that month and you don't go for 5 days. So let's say approximately 25 days. You tap in. This is the entire business in rules 1, 2, and a million. And you're tapping here 25 times. After 25 times, you tap. At the end of the month, you get 200K. But every time you tap, you're securing an amount, right? That's allocated to you on that day. Every time you're off the tap, you are going somewhere, you're running somewhere to borrow money, give, and then you run, come back the next day, tap. Once you go off, borrow, give, run, come back, tap. Borrow, give, come back, tap. Now, at the end of the month, when that final amount that comes in for all of the taps balances, what you're doing, pay, and then you come back dragging yourself exhausted in. You're going to remain in that circle of financial dependence, financial imprisonment for the rest of your life. Because if I start trying to do the math and say, okay, in 5 years, you would have saved this amount, you will save 0 amount. If you lose that job today, how will your family cope? You know, we keep talking about sowing of seed. Even churches talk about sowing seeds. Businesses tell you to sow a seed. So if you don't sow a seed, you're not reaping anything. If you're not reaping anything, it means if your eyes get closed right now, nothing is happening. Now, I'm not going to start talking about recurrent income, creating businesses and having recurrent income, because if at that stage, with that mindset, you go to create a business, I'm sorry to say that even after you create the business, it is still your family that will come and collect for bashi, and the business will run down. Don't feel sorry for yourself when I'm saying this. Just understand the truth of it, understand the facts in it, and just get the facts. Your family will come take bashi, they'll collect 1 indomie today, collect 1 spark tomorrow, collect sweet next tomorrow, and you will run down. You know why? Because your 9 to 5 is not giving you anything to invest back into that business. Now, let's be honest with ourselves, yeah? You're going to hear words like, you want to go and live on your own. What do you even want to do with money? You want to go and live on your own as if we're not taking care of you. You hear things like, how can you have money and your siblings cannot even enjoy it? How can you have money and me as your mother, I cannot even enjoy it? How can you have money and... Do you know that it's quite funny how people fail to talk about purpose and destiny and things you choose to do in life when it comes to money? Now, I'll tell you this for free. Your parents' purpose has nothing to do with your purpose. You might be in a family where you lost a parent, you lost a dad or a mom, and the next thing you hear, they tell you that, so now that your father is gone, you're the new father of the house. Do not accept that responsibility. Now, you are the new caretaker, fine. But you are not the new father of the house. Do they tell you are the new husband to your mother? That is where the trap comes. They won't tell you, you're your mother's new husband. No, they'll tell you are the new father of the house. And it's quite funny how people selectively pick what they would like to burden you with while they stay happy and comfortable in the space where they want to be and watch from a distance. You see, it's a trap. I am telling you for free that it is a trap. Do not accept that trap. Accept responsibilities, but do not accept that trap where they choose to box you in, because you will never escape from it unless you create that distance. Move. You need to move. Create a small space. See, your family will love you more if you are more successful. Hear that and know peace, because your family will love you a whole lot more when you are more successful, when you have more money. I will tell you this, it is something that is difficult to do. It is not free. It is not easy. But I will tell you this. See, if you do not move, if you do not create that distance and do not detach yourself from a problem, it is almost impossible to find a solution. That's why I keep talking about the toddler's effect, and it sounds very crazy every time I talk about the toddler's effect. The toddler's effect is this, where you have a problem, get a child that can speak. Explain your problem to that child. They will give you the answer. They will give you the solution. Why? They do not know the constraints you have piled up in your head, all those false truths you have put in your head, that this thing will not work because of this thing cannot work because of that. All of those things are your fears, and the truth is you must be able to see clearly to see the answers. And I will tell you one thing, that child will tell you something you already know to be the answer, but they'll tell you without the fear you have put in your head that it will not work. Now, what I was going to tell you for free is this. When you detach yourself, you need to understand that you do not hate your family. You don't. And you must not start what you cannot finish, or do not start what you cannot continue. Because in the long run, if you decide that, okay, I want to do this thing for my family, every month I'll be buying bag of rice, and you're thinking of it from future money, you wound yourself. It's like saying out of the profit of a business you have not started, you want to bless somebody. Am I making sense? Black tax is a very dangerous thing, but see, your family will understand when you become successful and then you start helping them even more. They will understand then, but right now, they will not understand. You might have 1 or 2 people in the family that understand, okay, this person needs to build, because for you to give, you have to have. You have to give. But if after collecting salary of 200k, you want to start buying bag of rice every month, you will buy bag of rice and you will still buy gallon of oil. You are forgetting that you need to buy oil. If you now buy only bag of rice and then you don't buy oil, Maggi, salt, pepper and the rest of them, they'll ask you, so you want to kill us, eh? You now bought rice. What are we now going to do with the rice? You have used your church money to buy rice. But the rest of these things will come, because once you have started what you cannot finish, you will be trapped in that cycle and you cannot escape. If you cannot buy a bag of rice every month and sustain it, buy half bag. You see the other half, break it into 2 again. Use 1 half to buy things. Use the other half, keep it in investment or savings. See, a lot of young people do not have any investment plan or saving system. And it's killing. I cannot tell you how to escape from black tax, because it is not something you can escape from if you are Nigerian, if you are African, if you are black. Whether you're living in Nigeria or outside, I'll tell you this. You cannot escape black tax. It is in our DNA already. You cannot. If you're in this circle and it's killing you, it's not too late to take a break and reassess the situation. It's not too late. You just need to find the person who is your person within that space of your family, or if it's your friends that you're in that block of chain with. You need to find a way to make them understand, because if as a young person, you feel like your purpose in life is to fulfill your parents' unattained dreams, I'm sorry to tell you this. You have not found your purpose in life. A lot of parents live on borrowed time because they did not do the things they are supposed to do for their children. If your parent tells you, you are now old enough, or you start taking care of your sister. You are now old enough, or you start taking care of your brother. Sure, you are collecting salary. This one is now your responsibility. I'm sorry, but your parents have failed in fulfilling their own purpose. And they are now borrowing your time and handing over their own purpose to you. Parents are trying their very best to work. But a lot of things that have been set in society, in religion, in culture, a lot on religion and culture have made them forget what they ought to do with their life and their time and their purpose. How many parents do you know of that can take care of themselves? Now, let's leave their children. Take care of themselves at the age of 80, comfortably, without burdening their children and relatives. Look at the position you're in right now. Do you think that's going to be you too? We need to think. If at the rate you are going right now, at the age of 80 is even far. Let's say at the age of 60, you're going to start depending on the children you have to come back and take care of you, come back and feed you, come back and do the very basic things for you. If that is your plan, I need you to realize that you have started that line, or you are continuing in that line of that thing they call generational curse. Generational curse is not someone will call one of your ancestors and say, kneel down, let me curse you. I curse your generation. Sorry, they work like that. But there was this thing a friend of mine said a long time ago that never left my mind. It said, the kind of friends you have today is the investment you're making in your children's life tomorrow. Because it is your friends that will give your children access tomorrow. So what kind of friend are you to your own friends? Can you give your friends' children access tomorrow? That's like when you are 80 and sitting at home. Can somebody call you and say, hello? Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma. There is someone in my office right now. He said he knows you. Do you know one Choma Abdul? And you respond, yes. I know her. I heard she studied finance and she's looking to work somewhere. And they say, oh, it's so nice to hear from you, sir. No, it is you now. She has the job. Can your person give people access today? And if your answer is no, with what you are building, can your person give access to someone tomorrow when you're done building? I'll say this. Black tax is a burden that has been engraved on us as young people, and a lot of times it is where people then see that, oh, if I get money, they will respect me, and then they start doing things they swore they would never do just to make that money. And yes, when you get tempted, you will do it too. There is no bargain to it, I am telling you. When you get tempted, when it gets to a point where you feel like, I just need to get it, I need to make it, you will do the same thing. You will do things you swore you would never do to make that money just to get the respect. But then, if you have chosen not to do the things that are off your moral compass to make money, and you're on this block, 31Block will still be your fault. Hey. And you're suffering from black tax, where at the end of the day you lose yourself, you lose that consciousness to care for yourself. You just give all of yourself away, and you forget that you are another human being that needs care, that needs love, that needs to just be okay. Just try to think long and hard, because definitely you hear words like, I don't blame you. It's because of, you hear words like, as old as you are. You hear things like, it's because of, and then you start to ask yourself, shey I'm the one bringing money, why won't they respect me enough? Do you know why they won't respect you enough? It's because you seem to forget that it's not just about the money. There was love even before the money came. You were closer together. You prayed for money. And I know the whole African mentality, every day you're praying for success, prosperity, and then suddenly you start getting some income. Now that income is not prosperity, it's not wealth. It is a channel to that prosperity. It is not the land of prosperity yet. It is the channel. So if your family cannot let you build, then you need to create that distance and build. If you have been given access as you alone out of your family, you have been given access by grace to earn something, it means that you have been given that opportunity to build. Generational curse of borrowed time can be broken when you decide to create generational wealth. And you cannot build generational wealth by spending the seed you should sow. People will hate you when you decide to take care of yourself and when you decide to build. You will lose friends. family members would start to see you different. They'll start to separate you from themselves. They'll call you names. A lot of things will happen, but you need to build. You need to move. I will tell you something about myself. For a long time, all my life, I have always known how to save. But for a long time, I never knew how to say no to people. And that thing broke me. I don't know how to say no. Mercy, what is it? Before you will say anything, already in my mind, I'm already thinking of how will it work? And my biggest problem was, I would say, while I am thinking of how this thing will work when you're bringing a problem to me, I'm not thinking of how you will learn to solve it. I'm thinking of how to get to the solution. So the biggest mistakes I made was giving you solution instead of giving you the blueprint to get into that solution. I learned that, and well, let's just say life is so much easier now that I've realized my mistakes, and I am growing from that. I was at a women's wellness meeting sometime last month, and while we got talking about the topic of black tax, someone said something. A renowned doctor, she said something. She said, for you to grow, you have to sever the umbilical cord. Yes, you have to sever the umbilical cord. What is umbilical cord? It is that thing that connects you to the mother as a child, a newborn. That thing that connects you to the mother, that feeds you, that keeps you fed, you receive nutrition. Now that you're out of your mother's stomach, you need to sever the umbilical cord. And I would say you need to do that to be able to pursue your own purpose in life. If every single person in your family gets separated, you, your parents, your siblings, your extended family, you all get separated to live your life individually, what do you think will become of every single person? Will they step up and start to fend for themselves? Or they'll wait for a miracle, or they'll do nights fasting and prayer and a miracle for you to find them wherever they are to rescue them? See, this might be something very difficult, and it will feel so impossible that you just think like if you get separated, you're going to wither and die. But trust me, the kind of resources that exist in life goes beyond the physical, goes beyond financial. It goes deep into the spirit of a person. Because you really need to ask yourself that question. If things stop working out the way they are working out right now, will everybody find a way to step up and make things work? Or everybody will just fall down and die? You need to know, you need to find out, you need to be sure. Now, you see, black tax can be a major burden. It can be something that makes you lose yourself, your senses, your mind. It can bring in a very serious case of depression and anxiety in people. It can make you second guess yourself, your faith, your relationship with people. It can make you lose your sense of purpose in life. But wait, because black tax can also teach you something. It can also give you a prelude, an introduction, a small taste of what it can be like when you start doing all of these things for just yourself, when you start living on your own. But you must understand this. Black tax is very dangerous. It can also create hate, not just in people, but in yourself. It can create malice, not just in people, but in yourself. It can create greed, not just in people, but in yourself. It can make you a person whom you never wanted to be. It is not too late to find a way to work around it. You need to have a plan. You need to have a budget. You need to have a system that is working. And if you need help, please ask for help. Again, it might feel impossible to find a way to live through it and to build and to invest in yourself and to chest the kind of negative emotions that will come from you learning how to say no, learning how to separate what should be spent from what should be kept. But if you can picture it, just picture it in your mind first. And remember that it's okay for you to not be liked by everybody, because people will not like you. People will hate you when you are doing less, when you're not succeeding. They might not say it, but the truth is people will feel entitled to whatever you have when you have. But you must understand that the seed you need to plant is already in your hands right now. And black tax is wounding every single person. Me too. So don't think I am just speaking out of them say, oh, I read somewhere, I saw somewhere. But you have to get to that point where you can freely say, black tax is there, but I have found a system around it. Find that system. Detach yourself. You know that way that they say, now see finish, now they won't person pass, but when you come out small, can't come back, respect they enter. It is true. But before you disappear, make sure you are disappearing for the right reasons and in the right way. There is no universal right way for when or how to disappear, but every situation is unique. So assess your situation, see how things are, create a system. And remember, only one life we get. So, I'll see you on the next episode on 31 Blocks and Still My Folks, where we discuss the topic, permission to live, please, where at the age of 31, you cannot just walk out on people. You're living with your parents, eating their food, they're enjoying every, and you want to walk out. Are you crazy? You they crazy?